So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games and I'm bringing to you guys my update to Synchrons or Stardust deck or Yugioh deck, whatever you want to call this deck. Like, I'm just going to call it Synchrons for simplistic sake. So, I've been waiting to update and upload this video for a while now, but I was waiting on the banners just to see if things like Jet Synchron or Tuning got banned or limited or anything like that, because if those cards did, I'd have to then change the deck, change up ratios, and it would definitely affect the consistency of the deck. Luckily they didn't, though unfortunately the banners didn't actually do much other than really helped Altergeist and Necros and Ritual Beast. That's literally it. But I'm also happy that the fact that this deck didn't get touched, as well as another deck that I will be uploading as well on the channel. Yeah, so with all that said and done, I'm going to get through this deck. But again, before I even get to that, if you enjoy this, please give us a like, please give us a subscribe down below, and ding that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any other future content that we upload here on the channel. Deck profiles, duels, reviews, discussions, anything like that. You don't want to miss out on any of that. And if you don't want to miss out on any of that, do those little things, because it helps us out a lot and it helps you guys as well to see the content that we produce for you. So before it's done, let's get into this. I've been working on this deck for so long, like trying to figure out ratios, trying to figure out the consistencies, fix the consistency issues, or at least give the deck something to do to help unbrick the hands. And I think I finally found out that engine, or that tool, that method to help unbrick this deck to at least do something, which I think is a great way to help boost the consistency of a deck that is struggling with a consistency issue inherently. Give it something else to do that it can naturally do. I've done it with Red Dragon Archfiend as well, which is using the same engine in this deck. When I'll get to it, I'll point it out, as well as my favorite deck, DDD, which is not already on the channel. You'll see on the channel what I've done to that deck to really boost the consistency of that deck. So starting off with this, we have obviously the 3 Junk Synchrons. I'm going to speed through some of these cards because some of them are quite self-explanatory, but Junk Synchron, you've got to have him at 3. He's your main tuner of the deck. He's like the best tuner of the deck, other than this next one here, which is Jet Synchron. Not only helps with your synchro plays because it can self-recur itself, but also being able to search the junk monster, which you're actually going to do a lot in this deck, to search a junk monster from deck to hand. One of them can be Junk Converter, though you don't really search this out with Jet. You're mostly using Junk Converter as your turn 1 play. Send this with a tuner, search Junk Synchron, normal Junk Synchron, get back Converter, go off into a speeder and go off with your plays. Then we have Doppel Warrior. No Junk Synchron, Junk Doppel deck is good without Doppel Warrior. You gotta have Doppel Warrior at 3. One card I'm really liking is Synchron Explorer. I'm really liking Synchron Explorer in the deck, giving you that additional normal summon, and also tuner summon is very, very nice in the deck. Synchron Explorer is a very, very good card. I think it's a bit underrated. Then we have Junk Forward. One of the junk monsters that you can potentially search, though you don't really want to search this card out, but being a level 3 that can summon itself helps you with your level 2 tuner plays, which then means you can go into your junk speeder to then go off and start synchro climbing from there. The main thing you're going to search out with your Jet Synchron is Junk Servant, which is why you play him as a 1-of, because he is easily searchable in the deck through your Jet Synchron. You sync off with your Jet Synchron, resolve your synchro effect if you have any, but then Synchron searches out your Junk Servant, which then you can summon onto the field, because you most likely have another junk monster in play. Most importantly, like Junk Speeder, and then you can start just continue summoning out more Synchrons. To more Synchrons targets we're playing is 1 Satellite Synchron, 1 First Synchron, and 1 Road Synchron. I like all of these because they're all very versatile and all very diverse in their levels and their mechanics. Satellite Synchron can make himself level 4 and can recur back resources. It's very, very nice. You don't really need to play more than 1 copy. I think 2 at max, but I just like the 1 copy because you don't really use them as much in terms of like the first turn play normal this do off, unless you got your junk forward in hand. which then helps you consistency with that. You're mostly summoning this off your junk speeder. First Synchron, similar mechanic, but it informs like it's a level 2 Synchron monster. Combos very well with your junk forward to get into your junk speeder. But it also helps you summon more monsters out of your hand, which when you're drawing a lot of your TG Hyper Librarian, if you can then trigger the first Synchron after a couple of draws, you most likely got a monster in hand, so to summon off your first Synchron, so you can keep going into more Synchros or Synchro climbing. And Road Synchron, he's good because he's like the opposite of Satellite Synchron, which if you're not making a road monster, he then becomes level 2, which then you can start going into your junk forward. Literally this and junk forward is still a junk speeder, which is very, very nice. But it also does help you go into your Road Warrior for those combos, where you can then use Road Warrior, something like Double Warrior, and start going off with more Synchros. I'm playing 2 copies of Effect Vader, just another tune in depth and effect negation, while also having some benefits with your what is it, your there he is, your junk converter. And then here's the engine that I've implemented into my Red Dragon Archfiend deck as well, to just boost the consistency of the deck, and essentially that it's got something to do to pump out a boss monster for negations and to control the board, and that is the Assault Beast package. I'm playing 2 Reflector, 1 Assault Beast, and 1 Assault Mode Stardust. No, this is not an Assault Mode deck. I don't classify it as an Assault Mode deck because the Assault Mode is not the main focal point. It's not the main strategy. It's not the main thing you want to do. The Assault Mode engine helps you unbrick those hands, which your main combos require a level 2 to get into Graveyard, a way to get into Junk Synchron, a way to normal summon Junk Synchron and go into Junk Forward, or Junk Speeder. Your main play revolves around Junk Speeder. If you don't have those combo pieces, which before I implemented this, there were times, or quite a few times, you didn't have those cards, no matter how consistent you make the deck, no matter how many draw cards you put in the deck. There were a lot of times where you just didn't have that play to make Junk Speeder, and the deck just like falls apart. But implementing this into the deck, as long as I have Psy Reflector, I essentially have Assault Mode Stardust, which is just as good. It's a formula and effect negation. It's a boss monster that stays on the field, and worst comes to worst, if it dies, you get your Stardust back, which is again another formula effect negation and another boss monster. While also you got the play with the next Psy Reflector to do, because you just normal summon your next Psy Reflector, such as your Assault Mode activate, you reveal that, summon back your Assault Beast, and you can make another Synchro. So it's an engine that fuels itself while helping you unbrick the deck, not necessarily implementing itself into the combos, though being a tuner you can discard it off converter, but it gives you another play to do, which can at least keep you in the game and give you something to do, which I think is another way to boost the deck's consistency if you have the means and methods to do so. I've implemented this into my Red Dragon Archfiend deck, which, as weird as it is, that deck can brick as well, because it falls into similar problems with this, where if it can't make Red Rising Dragon, it falls apart. So implementing the Assault Mode deck engine into that deck as well, it fuels you another boss monster, it gets you into your Red Dragon Archfiend, which is the main focal point of the deck, so it just helps consistency there as well. So it's an engine that I'm really enjoying. It's an engine that I think does help the deck out a lot, and if you're also building Synchron Yusei decks, try this engine out as well. It's an easy engine to pick up, it's just overall a good versatile engine that you can implement into quite a few decks. Moving on to spells now, we have 3 copies of Tuning, such as all your Synchrons and Mills from your deck. This is very, very helpful for the deck. 1 copy of Rota, 1 copy of 141 and Foolish Burial. All consistency cards, helps you get cards into the graveyard for your players. 1 copy of Pod of Avarice, you burn through your extra decks so much in this deck, so being able to shuffle all of those cards back into the deck, into your extra deck, and then just add more 2 cards to your hand is very, very nice. Apparently Monster Reborn just wants to jump out of my hand for some reason, but yeah, Monster Reborn. Get your boss monsters back, keep control of the board, and 3 copies of Cool Body Grave. The deck is very susceptible to Ash Blossoms and things like that, so you want the Cool Body Grave to stop that. And to round up with the trap cards, we're playing obviously the 2 Assault Mode activate. You don't want to brick with opening one of them, which means essentially your whole entire engine of Assault Mode is dead, unless you have the Foolish Burial to just forcibly get Assault Beast into grave, or if you mill it off tuning. So that's why I'm playing the 2 copies of Assault Mode activated, means my Assault Mode engine is always live. And the 1 copy of the Scrap Iron Signal, I'm playing this in my Red Dragon Archfiend deck as well. It's very, very strong counter trap. For those effect negations, as long as you have a monster, a synchro, that lists a synchro as material. It can either be the synchro as a tuner or the synchro as the non-tuner, it doesn't matter. So long as the synchro says, I need a synchro to make this, you've got your Scrap Iron Signal for that. So, moving on to the extra deck now. For your main boss monsters, we're playing the 1 Satellite Warrior for those pops and board controls. The 1 Stardust Warrior, very strong summon negation card. And then we have the 1 fan tech of mine is the Shooting Star Dragon. I can't play a Synchron deck without Shooting Star Dragon. It makes this deck the rival of my Red Dragon Archfiend deck. It's very, very fun. For your other boss monsters, you're playing the 1 Stardust Dragon. Helps you go into, obviously is needed for the Shooting Star Dragon, but is still very good. Effect negation, destruction negation, as well as help you go into your Stardust Assault mode. Sorry, I'm just doing other things as well because multitasking. Road Warrior, put him down there, good through combos, helps you go off, and is a 3k beat stick as well. Frame Lord Mega helps you with control of your opponent's hands, very, very nice. And the 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, kind of like an honorary Yusei card. It just fits the deck so well, and it's just overall a strong boss monster as well for that monster effect negation. We then have the 1 FA Dawn Dragster. You could say this as a honorary boss monster. It's kind of like a thing that you want to end on borders as well, just for more negations. And it's just an easy level 7. I think for a junk deck like this, like a junk doppel deck, you kind of need to have a monster of every level of a synchro that you can go into, because you don't want to have those hands where you can make a synchro or you can level up but you don't have the level target for you. So having a level 7 or at least 1 of every level, if you can, means that your deck doesn't brick as much in terms of like going off with your players and as a whole. I've gone with FA Dawn Dragster. You can go with any level 7s, Shooting Visor, Clearing, the Black Roses, like any level 7 you want to. I just went with Dragster just because you can essentially just end on with him and you got negation there. A level 6 target, I've gone with Charge Warrior just for the extra consistency of draw power. For level 5s, Axel Synchron, TG Hyper Librarian, obvious, and Junk Speeder, the main combo play, the main starter of your deck. And then for the lowest levels to finish off the extra deck and the deck profile is the Martial Metal Launcher. You make this with your level 2s or get back and your tokens, get back a tuner, keep going off with synchro climbs. The Celestial Double Star Shaman, which is a very nice card to go into. I rarely go into it as often, but when I'm mostly playtesting, I'm just like, okay, what can I do first, and then what can I do as a follow-up. So I don't really summon Celestial Double Star Shaman as much as I want, but I still play in the extra deck just in case. And the 1 Forming Synchron is one thing you're always going to be making, that consistency, and a way to get into Shooting Star Dragon is very nice. One cool thing just to quickly mention with Martial Metal Launcher, if you make Stardust Dragon with this, you can still go into Shooting Star Dragon, because even though Metal Launcher turns Stardust into a tuner, you can still tune your tuner Stardust to make Shooting Star, because Shooting Star just lists Stardust Dragon by name. It doesn't list Stardust Dragon as a non-tuner monster, which is, I think, is very cool. Very cool little gimmick that you can do in the deck to like cheat out your Shooting Star in a way where you probably wouldn't normally do. But that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think. I'm really happy to profile this to you guys. I've been waiting to profile this since I feel like I figured out the kink to it and the thing to help it stop bricking as much. And I just really wanted to share it with you guys, so I'm really happy to share this. But as I said, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, ding that notification bell. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.